What about me?
So,
What if it was me?
did you steal it?
No.
Then stop joking around.
Again,
I
I'm
can
just trying to
prove
lighten
that
the
she
mood a
came
bit.
to-
Hello?
Ever since March started learning swordplay from Yancheng and Yunli, her voice has been absent on the express. I wonder how well she's progressing. Where has she been these days?
Who's March 7th? Yeah, why don't you just message her? There you go, Guardian. You're looking at the wrong person. Wow, okay. My child? Okay. Alright, let's... RM Alley it is. Milo, get out of here. I have no time for you. I'm sorry. Hello, Yunli. How's it going?
Ah, there you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found. Forget it. Let's just assume she successfully skipped class.
Oh my god, March, you're
Actually,
a rebel.
She's been quite diligent in her swordplay practice and hasn't taken many breaks lately. I think she deserves a day off. Besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was still learning.
Oh my god, Yunli, you're a
If I was
rebel.
in the mood, I could train for 3 days straight. But if I wasn't in the mood, none of my seniors could find me.
Relatable, relatable.
So, I can
I
understand
mean,
where
not
she's
really
coming
relatable
from.
because I never skip classes. Don't skip classes, kids. Always go to class. Yeah, looks like
Don't make excuses for her.
looks like she learned from the best.
Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food.
Well, no arguments
I'm more
there.
interested in you today. Let's walk and talk.
Who am I to say no to free food? Like, you give me free food?
Jeff told
Yummy!
me there's tasty food in Arum Alley. Let's go there.
This is actually a nice place, like... If I lived on the Jianzhou, this would be a place I'd go to on an almost daily occurrence. No, screw up, Bailu! No, I don't care about this. So what are we having, Yunli?
Table for two, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well, we'll have one of everything on the menu.
God damn, dude.
The entire menu?
Do you think it'll be enough?
I think it'd be too much.
Oh, don't worry. There are two of us.
Yep,
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes, and if you need more, just let me know.
what's
Thank
with this
you.
what's with this jewelry thing on the back of your head?
Yeah. I mean, not too much, actually. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. So,
Yeah, in your
How big is
trailer,
your
you
appetite?
literally chased around a detailing for... You literally chased around a detailing for a simple kebab thing, I think it was. My stomach is a bottomless pit.
then eat to your heart's content.
I will!
No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off. Well, to be more precise, I'm interested in your sword.
My sword?
Yanqing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated, and that your weapon has a unique
You mean
shape.
my lance?
So, I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use.
Alright, Ruby. Yeah, it's a baseball bat.
Seriously? A bat?
Yeah?
Just the opposite. This is fascinating.
Place your beloved bat, your most trusted companion, perhaps second only to the likes of March 7, Dan Hong, Well, Timiko, and Pom Pom, before Yunli's gaze.
So, it really is a baseball bat.
How the hell did Yao
Grandpa
Qing
said
mistake
that
this for a
doesn't have
sword?
to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also
Well,
said that a weapon mimics
guess
its
you could
master,
say that.
So, your bat actually reflects your habits in nature, you know?
Rules are made to be broken, as Stella said
Let me guess.
numerous times.
You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising, and can handle yourself well against tough foes. Am I right?
Whoa. Yeah, you're right. I don't follow the rules.
Amazing.
Please follow
right?
the rules, kids.
And I bet you
The
always say something
rules are made
silly,
for a
like,
reason.
rules are made to be broken.
Oh my god.
I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down.
You melt
Yes.
swords?
But only for those who cross the line. Melting their swords is my way of protecting those weapons.
Yeah, I do
Just
recall that
looking
you
at a
did
sword is
literally
not enough.
steal Yao Qing's sword.
Grandpa always says,
Yanqing, sorry.
words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. You'll be participating, right?
Miss Yunli.
Yeah, I
For
already did
talented
it.
sword masters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself. But for people like her who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage. It has been a while, Miss Nameless.
Who are you again?
And you are?
You know, I'm just gonna follow along.
Thank you for your introduction, Miss Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Helmmaster. I apologize for interrupting your conversation.
And
I
I
happened to hear
apologize
you
that I
discussing
kind
the
of
war
forgot
dance.
you.
And since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello. Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala.
Ooh, fancy
Mr.
name.
Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time, not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikui, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum?
Sure. Yo, what's up, Pavo?
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Lufuo wasn't an easy one, but the scenery here is worth it. It's completely different from my homeland. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling, and then my mission will be complete. The Sword of Heroes will finally be returned to its rightful owners. I couldn't be happier.
I honestly don't care about all this, so yeah,
Oh, you're
World
interested
building.
in my home planet? That's great.
Let's get some lore.
Your Excellency is welcome to visit us at any time. Even though the trade route just opened, it still might take around 200 system hours to get there from Pier Point. But our planet is really great. Sure, it's a bit cold and the food is a bit repetitive and our houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point, but that doesn't matter. We've discovered
Oh, I don't
massive
mind.
supernium deposits, and we're on the path to prosperity. Oh, you mean the Mieka Kivesa? It's an
The
incredible
Mieka
sword.
Cabeza.
That weapon helped the legendary heroes of my homeland slay demons, and is highly revered. It also has the power to choose monarchs. All the ancient kings of Kalevala received a sign from the sword, showing they were worthy to rule the land.
Ooh.
According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out and ascend to the throne next. Well, those are just legends from the past. No one today has witnessed it firsthand. Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. Besides, it wasn't a native of Kalevala who last pulled out the sword and recognized its connection to the Xianzhou ship. It was a visitor from afar.
Oh, a fellow
While the
trailblazer?
sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly belong to our world. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually unanimously agreed to let the Mieka Kivesa return to where it truly belongs. That's the best possible outcome. Wonderful. It's an honor to have so many people witness the sword's homecoming.
Hi, Yunli. What do you want
Let's
to talk
head to
about?
the Palace of Astrum together. Hmm? I know, right? Thanks to March 7 skipping class, we get to join in on the fun. Grandpa
I'm not
always
gonna get a
asks me to go
history
look at
lesson,
swords
aren't
with
I?
him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird. But now that we're invited, let's go and check it out.
Go to the Palace of Astrum. Okay.
Wanna go take some pictures? Or maybe we can go drink some Immortal's Delight.
There you are. Come on, let's go to the ceremony together.
Yeah. A Genti? What are you doing
Please allow
here?
me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend!
Hey,
Glad to
man.
meet you again.
Who is this weirdo? Who is this knight?
Nice recovery.
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieka Kivesa back to the Xianzhou. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name is Yunli.
What a beautiful name! I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yunli. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners. Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony.
Yay!
On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kifesa to the Xianzhou Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevalan's
Watch us open the box and the sword is missing.
The Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now,
this mission is gonna involve us tracking down the one who stole the famous sword.
I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieka Kifesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Gu Yin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Flame Wheel Forge.
Wait, Hangguang?
Although its blade is
You
worn
recognize
and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou
Or is it your
Clown
father's
Knights.
name or something?
All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Lufuo Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Lufuo War Dance. This sword will be wielded against
was that?
abominations,
I heard a
protect
noise.
our homeland, and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
And
Yunli!
that is?
These esteemed guests have brought back your father's work.
Oh.
Where are your manners?
Oh, I was right. It is her father's.
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now! I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all!
Maybe I shouldn't react. Yeah.
Don't be rude, Yunli. Apologize to our esteemed guests.
Oh, his
from
eyes are
afar.
open. That means he's serious.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now. This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me?
Okay.
That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. Let us move on with the ceremony.
At the fervent plea of Huaiyan, temporarily depart. Okay.
Unless I'm mistaken, Yunli should be around here somewhere.
Yunli, where are you? I've got kebabs for day. Oh, hey.
Eyesight.
Good?
Did Grandpa send you to look for me?
No.
I bet he did.
No, I was concerned. Yeah.
Really? Thank you. Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me.
Okay.
Grandpa sent you here. Surely he doesn't want you to help me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one.
Stupid speck on my... Oh. That easy. I thought it was like a smudge I had to wipe away with water. That's what...
You've clearly heard a lot of folk tales.
Yeah, excuse
But
me.
that's not the kind of cursed sword I'm talking about. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength. I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk.
Oh. That's bad.
Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts. Oh, so you're familiar with
excuse me.
Heliobi. That makes this much easier to explain. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with Heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made. I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any ideas? Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission.
Do you even have a
It doesn't
plan on how
matter
you're
why
going to
Grandpa
get
chose that
on
sword.
how you're going to steal
I
it?
won't let it fall into anyone else's hands. I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword? Maybe I should keep an eye on her.
Yeah, let's do that.
The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago,
As a wise
girl
man
came up
would
to me,
say, don't
all
track
fierce and demanding
down
directions.
the
She said she's a
predator,
member
track
of
down
the
the
Artisanship
prey.
Commission. Do you know her?
No idea who she is.
No one said that
If she
actually, I
really
just
works
made that
here,
up.
How can she not know her way around?
Yeah, she wasn't big at all. But that weapon of hers was pretty intimidating.
She was in a hurry, heading straight for the Artisanship Commission, and I didn't want to ask too many questions.
She said something like, I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your precious stuff? I got scared
Wait, she
and pointed
she's
her
had a
toward Master
massive
Gongshu's
sword out while
warehouse.
she asked
It
that?
stores his aromatons.
That's totally
Wait,
not
why did you
intimidating.
give her directions?
Oh my god.
What if she's planning to steal something?
Where did she go?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable aromatons are.
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious aromatons. I bet they'll give her a hard time.
For some reason, I highly doubt that. Let's take the teleport. No, the teleport is not active. Yunli, where are you? Oh. Well, this is awkward.
What are you doing here? Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it.
You're a brave young lady, but unfortunately, you're just a child and I refuse to just allow a child to get... Actually... Yeah, you know what? You're on your own. Sometimes children need to learn a lesson.
Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk. That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out.
No problem.
This place is heavily guarded. But there's nothing but aromatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right?
I'm just here to make sure.
No. It's not. Grandpa made a promise to the delegation, and going back on his word would tarnish his reputation and make things difficult for the Lufuo. But leaving that cursed sword here will also make things difficult for the Lufuo. So all things considered, the best outcome is for me to melt that sword down and take all the blame. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right? No, really. Do I come across that way? Well, I guess I can't deny it. Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story.
Yes.
Look. I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though.
Take off.
I'm still pretty
headset.
riled up. This?
Oh god.
This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Hongguang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him.
Oh my
All
god,
I
it's
know
little
is that
Yunli!
the Flame Wheel Forge used to be a bustling
Oh my
place.
gosh, she's a
with people
kid!
from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Flamewheel Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors.
Oh
from
my
afar.
god. I looked away for a second, all of a sudden I hear carnage.
Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out.
Jesus.
I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape.
Jesus.
I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Flamewheel Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" and the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated
Jesus,
me
I
like
was
his own
not
granddad.
expecting something so traumatic.
To me, he is
I was just thinking that
100
her father
times better than my
went mad
sinful
mad with power.
He taught me forging and
I was not
swordsmanship.
expecting that. That
Ang
guy,
Lang
that
paid
got
for his
dark.
sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Flamewheel Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword. So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble?
Not exactly.
no matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something.
Yeah, which is why you gotta
Besides,
talk to him about what's
After
up.
our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now?
I mean, not right now.
No, wait. At least not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, that's probably a better
Somehow,
idea.
after
Excuse
talking
me.
to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Gu Yun until he gives me his reasons. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that in a public place.
So, do you just not
Anyway,
wear shoes?
Thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow.
You really are Clara 2.0.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum and tell General Huayan what happened at the Artisanship Commission.
Excuse me, General. I must speak to you about your granddaughter.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young lady?
You explain what happened in detail, and Hyun's nervous expression eases a little.
Sorry for all this trouble. Yunli told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story.
Okay.
Han Guang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Flame Wheel Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like Zhu-Ming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So, by infusing Heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the Heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguan's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons, from taking back their kingdoms to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Flame Wheel Forge. Yunli managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day. Yes. I don't want her to spend her whole life trapped under her father's shadow. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of his mistakes. Despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds.
Fatal?
I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after? Gu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Han Guang. Very few swordsmiths could use Heliobai as forging material, and Han Guang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost. I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved.
You should have kidnapped now, King.
Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you?
Yeah. Been running around all over the Jianzhou.
I'll be counting on you then.
Time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
After finishing it all, you've returned to a stretch, came face to face with March 7, caught skipping class. Oh my god, March, you absolute rebel! Sipping milk tea and gossiping, time slipped away unnoticed. The next day arrived. Oh. Wait, I literally said earlier that the sword is gonna be stolen.
Alright, everyone is here.
I literally predicted that the sword is gonna be stolen.
Yunli, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
Now is not the time to use your reputation like that. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lufuo and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, Official Dahao.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yunli is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
Unfortunately, that is true.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. They should have given it to me from the beginning.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yunli is the main suspect. First, during the sword gifting ceremony, Yunli openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide. Hey! It's just a theft.
I'm just trying
The box
to
containing Gu
lighten the
Yun was
mood a
opened
bit.
and the sword went missing. But none of the other swords in the room were touched. Which means...
The theft was planned.
I don't think it was stolen on a whim.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, besides the ceremony participants, only the delegation members had access to the sword.
Could it be that someone from the delegation stole the sword?
In that case, why would they return it to the Xianzhou in the first place?
That is true. That is true. That is also true.
That makes sense. The delegation, led by the Knight of Beauty, delivered the sword to the Artisanship Commission. The craftsmen who received it testified that they didn't take anything from the arsenal.
What about our Genti?
Genti? Oh, that Knight of Beauty. He was with the delegation when they handed over the sword to the Artisanship Commission. You might not know, but he's the one who recognized the sword's origin on Kalevala and escorted it back to the Xianzhou. In other words, he's the one who made it possible for the sword to come home. So, he wouldn't have gone through all that trouble to bring it to the Lufuo if he wanted to keep the sword for himself, right?
True, true. What about a craftsman?
Master Gongshu checked the work records, and I questioned all the craftsmen and apprentices who were on shift at the time. But I didn't find any suspicious individuals.
Okay. What about me?
So,
what if it was me?
did you steal it?
No.
Then stop joking around.
Again, I'm
I can
just trying to
prove
lighten
that
the
she
mood a
came
bit.
to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so she couldn't have stolen the sword.
To put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yunli.
Fair enough.
So...
I didn't steal the sword.
well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
We might be
If you want to
missing
prove me
something
wrong,
here.
you'd better come up with some solid evidence.
My IQ is too in the negatives.
Let me
Too much
gather
in the
my
negatives
thoughts.
for this.
I need to help Yunli clear her name. Did we miss any clues?
Talk to the witnesses, investigate the evidence at the crime scene. Potato used to steal Ganyun is indeed a sight to behold. Its beauty is radiant. Perhaps it was this very beauty that has drawn unwanted attention. Regardless, as one of the few pieces of physical evidence left at the scene, it just might hold traces of the thief. The lock. The locking mechanism nestled within the case remains intact, bearing no marks of external force or tampering.
So, the thief took the sword from the case without picking the lock?
The sword case, masterfully adorned with metal wire inlays, presents the pattern of lotus flowers, subtly proclaims the origin of the illustrious Yanjiao zooming. Let's open the case. You notice a few smears of red along the bottom of the sword case's interior. It's hard to ignore, as if a deliberate declaration of existence to those who are viewing the sword case. A few petals teetering on the brink of withering More precisely, a single rose petal.
Why is this flower petal inside the case?
Close the sword case and put it back. Intact lock, rose petal. Excuse me, swords and madam. Oh, never mind. Excuse me, sir or never mind. Excuse me, sir or madam. Did you happen to see anything suspicious on the night of this November 17th, 1986? Oh wait, this dialogue completely unrelated. Excuse me, oh hey, Pavo.
Who could have thought that the Mieka Kivesa would be stolen? And that the prime suspect is General Huayan's granddaughter? Regardless, we've accomplished our mission, and now it's the Xianzhou's problem. By the way, why did that girl call it a cursed sword? It's quite upsetting. That's enough, young lady. Let me get something straight. On Kalevala, this sword has always been highly revered. The first master of the Mieka Kivesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of wise monarchs. The monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain insight into defeating their enemies. What is, Helio? What? Never mind. The point is that the Mieka Kivesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala build a strong foundation. It's definitely not a cursed sword.
Okay, so that didn't help at all. A Kalevala envoy in charge of diplomatic affairs, he led a delegation to return the ancient sword, Ganyu, to Yanzhou. Though Yunli called it a cursed sword, Pavo firmly believes Ganyu to be the sword of a hero, as told in the legends from his home. Alright, Yunli, let's hear your testimony.
Difficult for official Dahao. Let's do this his way, and prove my innocence. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away.
What did you do, like, after I left?
There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword, but leave the case behind? Did they melt down the sword like I wanted to?
I do remember, like, back at the ceremony, like, Genti did give a look of some sort.
I mean, carrying around the sword like that would be pretty conspicuous. Wouldn't a thief prefer to take the case as well?
The prime suspect of this incident, he swore to completely melt everyone in the cursed sword forged by her father, including Ganyu.
Yes, I received your message yesterday and went to the arsenal to check on it. But when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. I don't know anything else, so asking more questions won't help, I'm afraid. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clarify something. Even though the sword was stolen, this commission is still highly secure. Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious arumatons were smashed!
That's it? That's your testimony? An artisan from the Artisanship Commission and the craftsman responsible for repairing Ganyun. He checked on how Ganyun was stored after you reminded him to keep the sword safe. Ganyun was yet to be stolen at that time.
Yunli says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yunli can be impulsive, so if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yunli yesterday, young lady. so you have the best chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me?
Did she come to you afterward?
She was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. If she had come with you, she wouldn't be a suspect right now.
How was the sword
After
delivered?
the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored. I'm counting on you, then.
General at the Jianzhou zooming and Yunli's grandfather. Yunli has attended to talk to her grandfather about getting today, but the sword was stolen. Wow, some of these testimonies are completely useless. I honestly like to believe that it was Argenti that stole it, because there is a rose petal in it, and like, the only character that I can think of that's associated with a rose petal was Argenti, and the general did say that Argenti carried the case to the artisanship, so he most likely knows like how to get into it without breaking it or lockpicking.
If you've found any clues, feel free to tell everyone.
Thank you. But I'm not sure if I can convince Mr. Dahao.
100% sure. Fine. Let me go through my reasoning again, and you can interrupt if anything feels off.
The debate starts
the entire
now.
incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yunli. Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Guyun, but you stopped her in her tracks. After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun.
Question.
After Yunli and
How do
I
you
went
know
our
that?
separate ways, I messaged Master Gongshu to inform him about the incident. And much later, Master Gongshu told me the sword was confirmed safe. So up until that point, Yunli couldn't have stolen it. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun.
Do I have any evidence for this? You intend to talk to your grandfather about going today, but still stolen. Yeah, Master Gonshu's testimony.
Wait, you messaged Master Gongshu? I had no idea. Well, that's some solid proof right there.
Objection!
However, it only proves the sword wasn't stolen up to that point.
I didn't do it!
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Rose petal.
I found
Igiyagi!
this in the crevice at the bottom of the case.
Igiyagi means objection in Japanese, by the way.
Rose?
Objection!
Huh. Yeah, I must have missed it during the search.
How the
Why was
heck
there a
did you
petal
miss
inside
it?
the case?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever that Knight of Beauty goes, he always leaves behind a trail of rose petals that's almost impossible to clean up.
Yeah, exactly. Argenti. Debate successful.
My thoughts are a mess. Let me sort them out. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword could have done that. And the rose petal was
Wait, it was
probably left
never
behind by that
locked?
Knight of Beauty. But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission? Why did he steal it after returning it here? And why would he leave that petal in the case?
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Knight of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a case on its own?
You've never seen a flying sword before?
Yeah, they
I've only
are
heard
they
about
are a
the
thing
Mieka
here on the
Kifeisa being
Jianzhou.
able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Knight of Beauty do this?
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword. Maybe he was under its control even before you arrived on the Lufuo.
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
That sounds a bit improbable, but it's not
me see.
impossible.
The docking location of Argenti's ship. The one and only.
Let's go.
That's the name of his ship?
We've got to find Argenti before that sword completely takes over his mind.
Okay. I swear to God, if I had to go for another Argenti boss fight, I will be pissed. Argenti! Argenti! Please stop right there, good sir. In a corner of Starskip Haven, you stumble upon a knight clad in shimmery silver. Okay, cool. "15th day of month X.
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Knight of Beauty. You're the one who stole Guyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, the real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon. Yes, I did. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty, and I abhor theft. I had to leave behind a rose petal in order to keep my promise to Master Guyun and uphold my knightly oath.
Master Guyun?
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsman, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity, in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Whatever your reasons are, you're planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me!
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me, so I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword.
Watch him not actually be cursed. He's just like, oh, this sword is completely beautiful.
The solution is right in your hand.
We punch him?
Captivated?
I'd gladly do that.
No, I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette. As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti,
I swear to God, please, not another Argenti fight, boss fight. I swear to God.
On the spirit of chivalry, in front of Adrilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyun in this duel.
Please, I swear to God.
If I win, you will allow Master Guyun to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yunli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyun over to you. Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords. Show me what you've got.
Please no, I know!
You're
I
not going
hate
to
you.
use Guyan to fight for victory?
Ow! That
Well, I know a
hurts.
thing or two about swordplay. In a proper duel like this, a knight should rely on the skills he's honed day and night.
You're a real weirdo.
Such a good fan. I got one and just I got a really strong team.
Doors echo.
Yeah, you don't get a turn. Yeah, give me that damage. Give me that damage.
Time to show you what Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less cards. What's this?
Fangs and claws never hesitate.
Oh my god, that damage!
Watch your head.
Awesome. Not very sportsmanlike.
Alright, calm down, calm down. Yeah, give me the shield, give me the shields.
Watch your head.
Yeah, keep hitting me, keep hitting me.
Bear witness. Let the duel commence.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off.
The flesh will
I venture forth to forever. Triumphant! Cha-cha! Victory is inevitable! I
That's
venture
good, just do it
forth
again,
to
I'm just gonna kill you.
Forever. Triumphant! Cha-cha! Victory
Hey, that was
is
easy.
inevitable!
I've lost. According to the rules of a knight's duel.
Oh, I am not afraid of you anymore. I've grown.
But before I do that, I hope that you, as the winner, might have the mercy and listen to Master Guyan's past experiences.
Oh my god.
This sword has been cursed since the day it was forged. Place it in front of me, and let me destroy it.
Do what she says, knight.
I heard a voice. What was that?
You've done so much for me already. It's time for me to face her alone.
I did you drop 12 an agent sword scarred from countless battle before I'm
weary
cool.
of fighting. I just want to share my past with you. To explain why I wanted to escape. After that, I'll leave my destiny in your hands. Are you afraid to witness my past, little girl?
Afraid? Well, you do have a different aura from other cursed swords. But you're just trying to use my curiosity to lure me in.
Well, you know best that a single touch won't snatch away anyone's sanity.
I think it's worth a shot.
Fine. Show me your past.
It's already impossible to contact the main Cloud Knight
I
forces.
gotta cut my nails.
What awaits me will be a long and lonely war.
Follow.
Oh, okay. For a second I was like,
Is this
oh, I'm still
your
recording,
memory?
right? Okay, yeah, I am. Kinda janky there. Bellabog.
It's so cold here. I didn't feel it when I was in the thick of battle, but now it's freezing me to the bone. You're indeed a masterpiece from the Xianzhou Juming. If you hadn't taken control of my body, I probably would have been decapitated in that fight.
Quiet, and stay alert. Boris and Wolf Troopers never give up the hunt.
Excuse me. What time is it? Only 7:17.
Hey, just relax a bit. It's been over 300 days since we were both stranded on this planet. The transmitter never rings, so I guess we can't count on that anymore.
Wait, you've just been stranded on
People on this
Bellbogs the
planet still
entire
use
time?
beasts to pull their carts. Obviously, there's no way they can help us fix the star skiff. Looks like we're stranded on this forsaken planet for the rest of our lives.
The rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. Are you feeling any desperation? All by yourself in this hostile world?
Yeah, a bit. Perhaps.
When things get too rough for you to handle, just leave everything to me. No need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. If I really can't handle things anymore, I'll leave my body to you. But now is not that time.
Do you really think you can oppose an entire Borisan army with your limited skills? What are you holding out for?
I'm holding up for you.
It's
and
true that I'm stranded here. But it seems like that Borisan pack is in the same boat. By the way, Guyan, do you know what a seed is? A seed may seem insignificant, but with careful cultivation and time, it can grow into a huge, unwavering tree.
Whoa.
You said that the rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. You're right. That's why I intend to plant a seed named Resistance here, and nurture it for the rest of my life. I want to show the people of this land how to defend themselves against those monsters. I can already see the seed in the eyes of those people.
You really think you can do it? Why not just give me control, and we can revel in the bloodbath together?
What was the memory I just saw?
It was a memory of me and a Cloud Knight, stranded on an unfamiliar planet. We crash-landed on a planet occupied by Borisan. Just the two of us.
Just the two of
I can
us.
feel
Just
that
the
it was
two
a
of
lonely
us.
war.
I'm alive. But all the young people in the village...
They died. They died for you. They died because of your big promises. Promising them a life free from the Borisan. I tasted their despair before death. They didn't see it coming. And neither will you.
We can't stay here. Let's move on to the next village.
Why? What's the point? You and your sorry excuse for an army have been fighting for over 3 decades, and you haven't won a single battle. What you're sowing is not resistance, but despair. This world is hopeless. It's completely infested with packs of Borisan. You've seen their numbers, and you know their methods. And those commoners you've put your hopes in, they just kneel down and worship the monsters devouring their children and families, calling them their Beastmasters. You beheaded one of the Beastmasters for their sake, but they turned on you because they were scared of the Borisan taking revenge. You remember all that, right?
I do. I remember my first death. The Borisan cut off my head. But I also remember that if it weren't for a brave youngster who risked his neck to reattach my head and give me a proper burial, I would have disappeared completely. I remember everything the people did for me. They left food at the entrance of my cave, fixed my fur coat, and some even joined my resistance. The rest of the Xianzhou native's life is still terribly long, and there will be new youngsters who will stand beside me in battle. always on our side.
You said it was a lonely war. No. It wasn't a war filled with loneliness, but with despair. So much despair that I don't want to ever taste it again.
I'm leaving.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I'm returning to my homeland. A distant place beyond the sky. I'm not coming back.
But what should we do with you gone? What if those wolf demons show up again?
They won't, my child. You've wiped out the last of them. But before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. Even though the wolf demons are gone, new monsters will appear in this world. Soon, a demon will appear, donning golden branches and knowing only bloodshed. However, fear not, my children. I'm entrusting you with this sword that's been with me in countless battles. Use the skills I've taught you over the years, and you'll surely defeat that last demon. But that's not all. I need you to construct a stone monument for me. It must be large and sturdy enough to seal the remains of that demon forever. This is a debt you owe me, and you must fulfill it. Do you understand?
You lied to them. And you lied to me, too.
Oh?
You promised that you'd give your body to me when you couldn't handle things anymore.
Well, this Xianzhou native's life has finally come to an end, my old friend. How about one last chance for revenge? Come and bid me farewell for the final time.
He had long since come to some understanding. I could sense a mix of intricate emotions flowing out.
As much as sad as
It
this
wasn't
whole
bloodlust, or anger, or fear. What he had left for you
as sad as this whole memory plays out,
was
it doesn't really explain to me why you need to escape.
How to fight monsters.
Am I just an
But
idiot?
there's still one last monster lingering in the world. Kill it, my old friend. You left me there without ever looking back.
Yeah, I'm probably just an idiot. So like, alright, let's see his whole thing through. See his whole thing through.
Thank you, my old friend. Heliobi can taste human emotions. How do my emotions taste? My old friend.
A hint of bitter compassion and a touch of scalding courage. Your heart's deepest desire is to end war once and for all. Now, the war is finally over. Can you hear? Even though you can't hear me anymore, my old friend, I'll do everything I can to bring an end to all conflicts in this world.
So, this is the past of the Kalevalan people's Sword of Heroes? You helped the people of that world bring an end to war?
No, I did not. I am a weapon, and I only became the cause of more conflicts. Countless monarchs of Kalevala saw me as a symbol of kingship endowed by nature, and they waged wars in order to possess me. I grew tired of their wicked intentions. I didn't want to kill for anyone anymore. So I returned to the stone monument where my master was buried. And since then, no one was able to remove me from it.
Till recently.
You allowed Argenti to take you away?
Yeah.
Because even after all this time, I still wanted my master to come home. During the sword-gifting ceremony, I felt anguish when I learned that I would be handed over to the most skilled swordmaster and once again become a tool for killing. My master had engraved his deepest desire into my blade. End war. As a weapon, my purpose was predetermined from the start. I had to become a deadly sword that would relentlessly hack and kill. But once I fulfilled my mission, would I have the right to choose my own destiny like he did? So, I asked the Knight of Beauty to help me break free from this never-ending cycle of bloodshed.
These thousands of years have naturally turned into memories of mine. I think I understand the beauty the knight was talking about now.
I don't want to be a sword that brings death. My war ended long ago. The years spent as a tombstone were my finest.
I've told you everything about my experience with Master Guyan on Kalevala. And now, I'm sure that Miss Yunli is as moved by the sword's flawless beauty as I was back then.
Even though I had heard the legends of this sword from the delegation, delving into its memories was still fascinating. Yunli, I trust Guyan's experiences have changed your mind.
That's why Grandpa hid it from me. So I wouldn't make a hasty decision. I always thought a cursed sword infused with a heliobus would only bring rage and slaughter. I never thought someone could leave behind the desire to end war, and even change the nature of the cursed sword. My position was too extreme. Guyan is truly a sword of heroes. I apologize to all of you for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Now that we've proven Miss Yunli's innocence and found the sword, should we now return it to the arsenal?
Heck no. We gotta let this thing go.
No. I'm still going to melt down this sword.
That's also another option. Wait, no, I don't want to sound
I've heard
disappointed.
your true desires, Guyan. I can sense that you're
Wait, no, I wanted
being
them
a
be in
sword.
support. Now it sounds look
Constantly
disappointed.
serving new masters and fighting battles you no longer want to be part of. Right?
But being a sword is my destiny. I'm doomed to serve some master and fight battles endlessly. Can the wind choose to stop blowing? Can a cloud choose to stop drifting? No. It's the same for me. A creation with a predetermined destiny.
That's not true, Guyan. That nameless sword master shaped his own destiny. So you can too.
As Miles Morales once said, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Being anything other than that of a sword.
Do you remember when you stood alone in front of the Swordmaster's stone monument? People admired you because you carried the memories of the hero. You were no longer a sword. You were a memorial.
Later, as I became worn and weathered, the gentle wind would pass through the hollows of my body, creating melodic tones that echoed in the distant mountains. I became a musical instrument then. I miss those times.
Can a creation become what it wants to be? The answer is yes. I'll grant your wish, Guyan, and transform you into something different.
Something different?
But this is the price for the war dance. If the Kalevalan delegation finds out... Please, say something, General Huayan.
Well, my granddaughter has always been stubborn. Are you really sure about this, Yunli?
What do you all think?
I guess, what does Ganyu want?
Fulfilling Master Guyan's wishes is the reason I came to the Xianzhou. With the driller's blessing, you could turn Master Guyan into a plow. But as long as it fulfills his wish to end war, I support it fully.
Then, I'll leave it to you, Yunli.
Finally, you make your way to the Artisanship Commission's Pentad Armory, seeking the use of the Forging 7. Can you please let me finish reading?
The honor is mine. Thank you, Yunli.
Thank you for the thumbnail game. I appreciate it.
Why the long face, my child? Are you feeling regret, perhaps? You were completely determined when melting down the sword, so why the sudden change of heart?
Grandpa, I melted down the prize for the war dance. How are you going to explain this to the Lufuo?
Oh? Am I hearing right? This little girl is worried about her grandpa. Didn't see that coming.
If only I'd talked to you from the beginning, Grandpa. Maybe things wouldn't have escalated like this. But at least Guyan got what it wanted. I have no regrets there.
When it comes to swords, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. So, are you planning to continue melting down the rest of Hongguang's swords?
Yeah. Guyan is unique. But the other cursed swords are still too dangerous for anyone to handle. But maybe I'll try to be more patient next time.
Be more patient. Well said. Remember what you learned today, because there will be many more situations in the future that will require you to be more patient.
Understood. But what about the prize?
Well, ever since you showed up at the ceremony, I had a hunch. So I prepared another sword as a backup plan. And don't worry, This one has nothing to do with Heliobi.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect.
By the way, the ambassador from Kalevala and that knight went to Arum Alley. They're looking for a spot to honor the hero. Why don't we go take a look together?
Go.
Oh, General Huayan. What brings you here?
Yo, what up, Pavo?
Well, my granddaughter was inspired by the heroic legends
I've been recording
told by the
for an
Mieka
hour
Kivesa.
and 30 now.
So she dragged me here to take a look.
I come from a long line of Kalevalan monument keepers. For generations, my family has guarded the stone monument left behind by the nameless hero. Over the centuries, a golden tree sprouted from under the monument, and its branches have never withered. We Kalevalans see it as proof of the hero's existence. Before leaving Kalevala, I took a branch from that golden tree, hoping to plant it here to represent the hero returning to his homeland.
That sounds good. We Xianzhou people don't make coffins or set up memorials, so I'm sure he would be happy to rest here where life is bustling.
The hero had asked our ancestors to carve something into the monument, so I made a copy of it too. While the inscription is pretty worn with age, perhaps you can still make out some of it.
I have drifted far from my homeland and am on the brink of death. Yet, I take solace in having honorably fulfilled my duties. Should you feel compassion for me, kind traveler, please take a handful of soil hence and bring it back to the Lufuo. Mr. Pavo, I wonder if that hero ever left a name in your history.
I apologize, but the hero's epic battles happened long ago, and he did not leave any name for us to call him. But in our mythology, he came from the heavens, and so we call him the Cloud Knight.
Oh,
welcome
that's
home,
perfect.
Cloud Knight.
Now, you can also rest here, Guyan.
Oh, finally, it's over. Alright, so that was quite the lengthy mission, as it took me like an hour and 44 minutes to complete that. But yeah, from what I saw online, that this is like the last available companion mission at the moment. So like, any further Honkai videos will specifically focus on like Trailblaze missions. So like obviously the next one is going to be the start of the, what you call it, the 2.5 stories. And then after that, I'll do, after 2.5 is 2.6, and then 2.7, and then finally we can continue on onto 3.0. Like, that comes out in like just a little over a week, so I'm probably not gonna be able to like actually catch up on everything before 3.0 comes out, but I do want to at least finish 2.5 and 2.6. Like, I'll try my best, and like, yeah, I am going to try my best to post every day for the rest of my break. Like, I got like a couple of weeks left, but there might be days that I just won't feel up to it. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it off here because I wanna stop recording right now and just like relax, watch YouTube. Hope you all enjoyed this video of Honkai Star Rail. I hope you all liked and subscribed, and have a good night, everyone. Peace out.